إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم أفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ربي أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الواحد الأحد الفرد الصمد ثم الصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه البشير النذير السراج المنير المحمود الأحمد رحمة للعالمين أبي القاسم محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم وعلى ابن عمه أسد الله الغالب الإمام أبا الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وصيه ووزيره وخليفته من بعده يعصوب الدين إمام المتقين سيد العارفين وعلى بنته وصفيته فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء أهل الجنة والسيدة نساء العالمين وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلى الأئمة المعصومين من بود الحسين سيما إمام زماننا الحجة بن الحسن العسكري عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف والسلام علينا وعلى جميع عباد الله الصالحين وأما بعد قال الله الحكيم في محكم كتابه وهو أصدق الحديث أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين صدق الله العلي العظيم. May Allah's peace and blessing and divine graces be upon all of you, my respected brothers and sisters, and those who are accompanying and join our program via YouTube live from Massjed Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam, Northern California, city of Tracy. Actually, our program and this occasion of Eid al-Ghadir, August 8th, inshallah, around 6:30, we will start the program. And inshallah ta'ala, we will celebrate this great occasion and event of Eid al-Akbar, the greatest Eid of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. People ask Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam, Ya ibn Rasulullah, is there any other Eid rather than Yawm al-Jum'ah, Yawm al-Fitr, and Eid al-Adha? Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned, yes, of course, there is another Eid which is appointed the successorship and the guardianship and the leadership, infallible leadership of the successor of the Prophet Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. So dear respected brothers and sisters, youngers, Eid al-Ghadir is the Eid of the wilayat, guardianship, and the wasayat, successorship of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And inshallah ta'ala we will discuss about the importance and some important peculiarities and qualities of this occasion in history of Islam for not followers of Islam but also all humankind all around the globe. As Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in the last year and last days of his life, that he already reached the pleasure of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala by doing the mission of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. And he mentioned, O followers of Islam, O faithful and believers, men and women, this year means the 10th of Hijrat, after the migration of Prophet from Mecca to Medina, and that year, the 10th year, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that he already prepared for the last pilgrimage. This pilgrimage of Hajj was the first and last pilgrimage. It means the Prophet ﷺ accomplished just one Hajj, first and last one, in the year of 10 after Hijrat. So many people, many faithful men and women and followers of the Prophet ﷺ already had been tried to accompany and join with the Prophet ﷺ. So Prophet ﷺ decided to, and the last Hajj, Hajjatul Wida, that's why it's called Hajjatul Wida. And on that ceremony of pilgrimage, the last Hajj of the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet already directed and advised and recommended and guided many affairs and manasik and jurisprudence and obligatories of Allah Ta'ala to the people, to the followers of the religion of Islam. So in the day of Arafah, in the desert of Arafah, Prophet ﷺ mentioned also about the rights of Muslim men and women, the rights of human, and the rights of nature, and many other peculiarities in the religion of Islam. When Prophet ﷺ returned back to the Medina, in the place which called Juhfa, it was very strategic geographic places, is the place that many Hujjaj and pilgrims already separated from each other, to the Egypt, to the Shamat, Damascus, to the Yemen, and to the Medina. That's why Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, with the command of Allah Ta'ala, chose that place and announced the one who already passed must return back, and the one who didn't reach to the Juhfa, Ghadir, called Ghadir al-Ghadir, this is a wali, should wait for the others. And Prophet ﷺ start a khutbah, declaration, and speech about the important message of Allah Ta'ala. There are some ayat in the Quran al-Kareem, especially in the Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, ayat number 67, 55, and number 3, and many other ayats about important message of Allah Ta'ala. That Allah Ta'ala command to his last messenger, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, يا أيها الرسول بلغ ما أنزل إليك من ربك وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته والله يعصمك من الناس إن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. O messenger, do deliver important message of Allah Ta'ala to the people. Baligh, deliver the message. ما أنزل إليك من ربك, what Allah Ta'ala has revealed to you by the Jibreel alayhi salam, peace be upon him. وإن لم تفعل فما بلغت رسالته. If you are not doing or not delivering, you didn't complete your mission and your prophethood. Don't worry, Wallah ya'simuka minan nas. Allah Ta'ala will save and protect you from the people. What kind of people? Devil, evils, إن الله لا يهدي القوم الكافرين. So, interpretation this ayah by many scholars are أعزاء أهل السنة والجماعة, school of thoughts of أهل السنة والجماعة, school of thought of Shia, followers of Ahlul Bayt عليهم الصلاة والسلام. As Ibn Abbas, one of the great interpreters, mentioned this ayah about the Yawm al-Ghadir. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala read on that day to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, after the good thing, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, after Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam commanded for the gathering after people get together in the place of Ghadir Khum, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam make a member, the highest place, and had placed on that position and start glorifying Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Bismillah wa billah, alhamdulillah al-wahid al-ahad al-fard al-samad. And then Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam continued glorifying Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And after that, asked people, Prophet has asked people, oh people, من أولى بكم من أنفسكم ألست أولى من أنفسكم. Oh people, who's your guardian? Who's close to your nafs and soul? And people, all people together answered to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. There is in many sources, like in Sahih Tirmidhi, in Sahih Muslim, in Sunan Nasa'i, in Tazkirat al-Khawas, and also Ibn Hajar Asqalani, Hakim, Nishaburi, Mustadrak, and many scholars mention about all hadith and narration of Ghadir. And Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam ask people, oh people, who's close to your nafs and soul? All people together reply and respond to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Oh Prophet, you are the one. And then Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam appointed to Ali ibn Abi Talib and asked him to come out and claim Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, and raise the hand of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam and mention, من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. Some people mention that Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam loved Ali ibn Abi Talib so much, and due to it, appointed to Ali, oh people, please and please love Ali. من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. But most great scholars mention Mawla here means guardian, as we call our father and mother Wali, guardian, the one who take care of ours. That's why Prophet ﷺ first mentioned, Man awla bikum min anfusikum. Who's your guardian? Who's your close to your nafs? Who's responsible for whatever you have in your life? All people replied to the Prophet ﷺ, you are, O Prophet. And then Prophet ﷺ mentioned, من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. اللهم والي موالاه وعاد من عاداه وانصر من نصره واخذل من خذله. This dua in all books, all narrative books, Shia and Sunni all together, are the same. Oh Allah, love and support the one from men and women, amongst men and women, the one who supports and accepts the guardianship and leadership of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu. And another question people ask, okay, you mentioned 130,000 people been there in Ghadir Khum. Okay, let's say less than that, 50,000, let's say 30,000, let's say 10,000 people there. Okay, or all of them already forgot about the narration of Ghadir? Of course. Here is Quran al-Kareem, the holy book. There are many story and incident and event in the Quran al-Kareem that mention about the unfortunately forgiving. Many people forgot the wasiyat of Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam during how many days? 40 days. Just 40 days. How many days passed from the wafat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Just 75 days. Just 75 days after the Ghadir. People forgot. Of course. Look at the history of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam and his brothers. The brothers, sons of the Prophet Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam already forgot and put him in hole, unfortunately, as the enemy. But of course, the people forgot Ali ibn Abi Talib as guardianship, as leadership, as the successor of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned the sign of the guidance for my ummah and followers is accepting the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. Look, Jordan was Christian, mentioned about the guardianship and successorship of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. My dear young respected brothers and sisters, this is very important. When we celebrate the Ghadir, not only saying, okay, my Imam, my leader is Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, proudly we saying this one and repeat, and that's it. No. We have to look at the opinions of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, his way, the tradition of the Ali ibn Abi Talib, exactly continuing the tradition of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned, Ya Ali, anta minni bimanzilati Harun min Musa. Ya Ali, your position to me is exactly the position of Harun to his brother Musa. Look what happened to the Harun. What happened to the Musa and his tribe in Israel? What happened? But when we do the research deeply, with contemplating and meditating, you could understand why all this happened after the departure of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But how Ali ibn Abi Talib with patience keep the Islam alive, keep the tradition of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam alive, keep the Quran alive, keep the social unity alive. This is very important for Ali ibn Abi Talib, my dear young respected brothers and sisters. Of course, this is your right to criticize many things, but the important things to keep the Islam as the religion of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and keep this social unity. This is very important. That's why Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam was 25 years, for 25 years was silent. And then mentioned Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam mentioned الإيمان على أربع دعائم على الصبر واليقين والعدل والجهاد. People ask Ali ibn Abi Talib about the Iman. What does mean Iman and faith and belief? Ali ibn Abi Talib ﷺ replied that Iman has 4 branches and bases on 4 pillars. على الصبر, patience, واليقين, certitude, والعدل, justice, والجهاد, striving, doing the best effort in the way of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala and holy war. وأما الصبر منها على 4 شعب على الشوق والشفق والزهد والترقب. This is the point, my dear respected brothers and sisters. This is the best answer of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam in our time, nowadays, that we are facing many challenges like COVID-19, coronaviruses, many calamities, difficulties, financial problems, economical crisis, and many other problems. But look what Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam said, and what's the direction of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. This is the importance of Ghadir, appointing Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam as successor of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as our guardian, as our infallible Imam and leader. You could understand why the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam just only appointed the only qualified person after him, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. Whether less people ignore or forgot Ali ibn Abi Talib or compromise about the wasiyyah and inherit of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, before the Ghadir also in the Arafat mentioned, O people, إني تارك فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعترة أهل بيتي إن تمسكتم بهما لن تضلوا أبدا حتى يرد علي على الحوض. O people, I will leave very soon. I will leave very soon to my Lord, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And you will leave this dunya after me also, till you reach in the house in front of me. So, if you always try to understand and be close to the Quran, فيكم الثقلين كتاب الله وعدتي, the holy book of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, the greatest heritage of the Prophet, and then my progeny Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, because always these are together. Look, Ibn Hajar Asqalani and Shawkani and many other scholars from the other schools of thoughts in Islam mention about the saying of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, how Prophet emphasized in these two important things. الحق مع علي وعلي مع الحق. القرآن مع علي وعلي مع القرآن. Look, how always the rights with Ali ibn Abi Talib, and where is Ali ibn Abi Talib, there is a right. It means Ali ibn Abi Talib is the righteous person and qualified, righteous, pious person for the leadership and guardianship of the followers of Islam after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look at the saying of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam about Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasallam. أنا مدينة العين وعلي بابها. أنا مدينة العلم. I am the city of knowledge. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Ali is the door of knowledge. The one who trying to get knowledge should enter from the door. So Ali ibn Abi Talib is the door of knowledge of city of ilm. رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم mentioned والصابر منها على 4 شعب على الشوق والشفق والزهد والتراكم من اشتاق إلى الجنة سلا عن الشهوات. And sabr and patience already has 4 branches: keenness and eagerness, having fear of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, it means love of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and piety to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, and waiting. The one who is keen and eager for the heaven, for the paradise, step aside from the temptation of shayateen and desires. And the one who has fear of hell always abstain and refrains from the forbidden deeds. And the one who has asceticism in the world takes the calamities and anguish very easy. Exactly nowadays for us, the situation that we are challenged, we are facing with COVID-19, almost 8 months. All people all around the world, my dear young respected brothers and sisters, facing these challenges. What's happening all around the world? People are struggling many problems, many problems, many difficulties. But Alhamdulillah, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam direct us to the best way. ومن زهد في الدنيا استهان بالمصيبات ومن ارتقب الموت صارع إلى الخيرات. Many people verbally just mention that you are Muslim, you are followers of the tradition Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they mention that they believe in death and hereafter of this world. But unfortunately, look at the saying of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. من ارتقب الموت صارع إلى الخيرات. The one who waits for the death with the love of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, always looking for the best deeds, for the good deeds. Nowadays, my respected brothers and sisters, as one of friends of mine who is professor assistant in the Berkeley, is non-Muslim professor. I already have given a book about the doctrine of Islam, and the 4th chapter, this is about the leadership in Islam. He mentioned that he really loved this part about the leadership in Islam. And he mentioned the school of thought of Ahlul Bayt, the branches of Islam, is the best opinions in theology of Islam about the leadership. The leadership with the piety, the leadership with the forgiveness, the leadership with tolerance, the leadership with tranquility, with the peace for all people, not only Muslim, but Muslim, non-Muslim. Because this person, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, believed people either are brothers and sisters and equal in religion or equal with us in creation. So, with this saying of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam, I already close, inshallah ta'ala, today's program. And inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow we will celebrate the greatest Eid of Ghadir, inshallah ta'ala, around 6:30 here. And we have program in English, poems, and Farsi languages, inshallah ta'ala. And the one who participated in program give a speech, inshallah ta'ala, more than welcome. Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam mentioned, من أصلح سريرته أصلح الله علانية ومن عمل لدينه كفى الله أمر دنياه ومن أحسن فيما بينه وبين الله أحسن الله ما بينه وبين الناس. One of the beautiful sayings of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam, the one who rectified and tried to reform his and her interior, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala will rectify, and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala make islah his and her exterior. وَمَنْ عَمِلَ لِدِينِهِ كَفَى اللَّهُ أَمْرَ دُنْيَاهُ. The one who looking for and trying the best effort for his religion, trying to help, to support the religion of Islam, the deen of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala sufficiencies for his between him and his Lord Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنَ فِي مَا بَيْنَهُ أَحْسَنَ اللَّهُ مَا بَيْنَهُ وَبَيْنَ النَّاسِ. And the one who tried to rectify between himself and Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, Allah always rectify and reforms between him and her and people, inshallah ta'ala. در اخیر محضر همه شما عزیزان ضمن عرض ارادت و تبریکات خاص و ویژه به مناسبت عید الله اکبر و تقدیر و تشکر از همه عزیزانی که برای امورات اجتماعی و مسجد زحمت میکشن، لطف میکنن. در همین لحظاتی که ما برنامه رو محضر شما تقدیم میکردیم، از صاحبای عزیز ما، بزرگوار ما، جناب آقای اخلاقی و جناب آقای احسانی عزیز اینجا تشریف داره و واقعا تقدیر و تشکر میکنم. اعضای محترم مسجد که همیشه کمک کردن، باز مسجد نورانی کردن، خداوند خیر عنایت بفرماید. و بسیار از عزیزای ما که با هر نوع کمکشان به حمد الله تعالی، کمک‌های مالی و معنویشان، پیشنهاداتشان کمک میکنن به مسجد، ما تقدیر و تشکر میکنیم و اینها را از الطاف الهی میدانیم. اینها را احسان بندگان خوب خدا در حق همدیگر میدانیم و امیدوار هستیم که انشاءالله تعالی برنامه ها را عزیزان محبت بفرمایند، همراهی کنن انشاءالله تعالی و سپورت کنن و امیدوار هستم که انشاءالله برنامه فردا، برنامه عید غدیر، برنامه پرباری برای خواهران و برادران باشه. ما انشاءالله تعالی فاصله اجتماعی را و اصول بهداشت و صحی را رعایت میکنیم. We will attain and observing all social distances. Alhamdulillah ta'ala on all personal and social sanitary in Massjed Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam. And tomorrow we provide and perform the celebration of Eid al-Ghadir inshallah ta'ala. Till tomorrow inshallah ta'ala, I ask every one of you inshallah ta'ala, dua al-khair, special tonight, been recommended to the ghusl for the Ghadir, and also for the tomorrow inshallah ta'ala 2 rak'at intention mustahab inshallah ta'ala prayers, and at the end going to the sajda inshallah ta'ala, prostrating and saying 100 times shukran lillah, and this dua: alhamdulillahi alladhi ja'alana min al-mutamassikin bi wilayati Ali ibn Abi Talib wa al-a'immat al-tahirin alayhim as-salatu was-salam. We have to say to each other and congratulate to each other inshallah, and giving gift to each other, and giving gift to each other at the followers of the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. May Allah make Mubarak to all of you brothers and sisters, and to all of us inshallah ta'ala, with the inayat of our Imam of our time, Imam al-Mahdi ajalallahu ta'ala wa farajahu al-sharif. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah ta'ala, hopefully will accompany and join the program tomorrow inshallah ta'ala. If you have any suggestion, inshallah ta'ala, be at your services. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.